One more thing, as the late Steve Jobs would say. What we're going to do is, the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to try to show you what a walk cycle might look like using this, and that's where we'll get into the some of the other things about it. I have a walk assist program, some of you are familiar with, and I may attempt to modify it to use target bones, or I may not. Target bones are just so it's so easy to make a walk cycle with target bones that it's such a blessing not to have to worry about it so much anymore. But in any case, I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. So what I'm going to do now, first I'm going to start, speaking of which, do an unparented rig. So I can use the target bones. I'm going to start that at frame 60. It doesn't really matter where I start it because I can load it in anywhere. And the first position, I'm going to start with a foot planted, and I'm going to have 1 foot up and move forward for like that. Some kind of a, I don't know, kind of a foot position. And immediately a lot of you are going to notice how terrible an animator I am, because I really am a bad animator. I mean, I never, unlike people like Sergey or Victor or some of the others, I'm just not a very good animator. But that's why I make these tools, because these tools help me animate when I can't. So in any case, one step here, you'll notice how bad this is. But the good news is, if I can even get close, you can do great. So so anyway, so I'm going to come down with this foot here, bring this forward there. I think I'll do that. Maybe have this come up off the ground a little bit. There. So he starts off with there and steps down, comes forward more. This foot comes up. I'm not even going to try to be great here. which is good, because I can't. And there's nothing more boring, I think, than watching somebody else animate. I mean, maybe people find it interesting. I just find it the most boring thing in the world. But all right, so he's got that foot there, that foot down. He plants that one there, comes up through there, a little bit further maybe. Brings this foot down. Trying to remember where, down there. That's good. And then comes forward. Comes up. I think that's all I need. Okay, so he starts off with the upstage leg, comes down with that, brings that forward like there. And I think that's, I could do one more. You know, you could do as many frames as you want in order to try to get it to look, more of what you want it to look like. But whatever, it's close enough for me. Okay, so now I've got a walk cycle. And, or not, I don't have a walk cycle. Actually I do have a walk cycle. So I'm actually going to save this and call this walk cycle. All right, so now in theory, but wait, there's more. Actually, this is interesting. I'm glad I did it that way. I saved it with the root as the default. Okay, notice this, I didn't actually have a planted foot. That's actually, for a walk cycle, that's not really good, because what's going to happen is, as it gets to the end of this, it's going to keep the root in the same position. Well, you'll see. I'll do this. So now I'll come back here, and I'm going to load in that walk cycle, and you'll see why it's wrong here. I don't know if you can tell. Let's see if you can watch the feet carefully and see what the problem is here. There you go. See how that foot slips through there? He's kind of running through concrete. Okay, it's possible that you could conceivably get it to line up properly, but in reality, there's no real reason that you have to do it that way, because we've got better tools for that. What we can do is, instead of saving it with the root as the parent, I can save it as this as the parent, the target, the D target. The D target has planted itself right here. That's where I want things relative to that to progress. And the easy way to remember it is, you always want the furthest target out in front, because you want that to be planted and then everything else to be around that. So I'm going to go ahead and save that again, walk cycle, and replace that. And now when I come to here and I load in walk cycle, you will hopefully see that I was in line. There we go. And now it walks a lot better. and then I could load that in as many times as I wanted. And it isn't perfect because I wasn't following exactly the line of it. You can see that some of my steps are going below the line, but still, it's not bad for an easy walk cycle for somebody who doesn't animate very well at all. And the other thing I want you to see about this is only the legs that I'm animating. I didn't animate the arms to swing back and forth, which you could do, but in terms of loading and saving bone animations, that also means that you can load and save different parts of the animation. So for example, if I wanted now to bring the arms like, oops, didn't want to do that. If I wanted to bring the arms, like maybe he might be carrying something, or maybe he's running away. It's just crazy. He's just got his arms way up in the air like this, like, help me. And he's got his head tilted back. This stuff now has stayed keyed right here, and actually it won't change throughout the animation. So I can load in a bone animation on the lower body or even the upper body, and it won't affect the other bones that aren't being progressed. So that's something to consider too. So now I can actually, go ahead and do other progressions here, and just kind of customize this walk as I go. And that way I could still save the walk, but each time I could then make it unique for that particular circumstance or say. So I wouldn't have to generate the whole walk cycle each time, but I could still make it interesting and varied as I go. So anyway, hopefully that gives you plenty enough to consider about using this process of loading and saving. And let me know how it works for you.